Identity is everything, especially in an online electronic business such as this. The Swiss flag and the word Swiss are protected by the country. Companies or entities that misuse it are infringing the law. We take a look at why Swiss means quality. In the last episode, we talked about the regulatory structure and its difference between Swiss regulations and the way companies are overseen by the Swiss banking authorities and the way they interact with them here in Switzerland by comparison to any other regulator in the world. And that led us on to something important. Swiss brand. The Swiss brand is on pretty much every product here. It's ubiquitous all over Switzerland. And actually Swiss Forex banks and Forex brokerages and their technology providers are custodians of the Swiss brand.
In a way, we are custodian, of course, of this brand. We benefit of this brand, and fortunately, the Swiss flag and the Swissness still means a lot in terms of positive value around the world. And of course, as a Swiss player, we benefit of it. And in return, we also are responsible for protecting this asset, because it is an asset.
That's very interesting.
Built, I would say there is a long-term tradition of quality, honesty,
there is indeed.
Honesty, and a lot of other positive values that we receive today as an inheritance. And of course, we need to protect this, I would say, this asset. And as a bank, we have a duty to protect the reputation of a Swiss financial center.
Yes.
And it is, I would say, in the regulation that we need to inform FINMA, for instance, in case there is a danger, if because of our activities we create danger for the reputation of the Swiss financial market, we need to inform FINMA. So this clearly means that we are custodian of this asset, and we are responsible for protecting it. And we do our best to contribute, I would say, to this image which is known around the world.
It is indeed, and it's actually a brand in its own right, isn't it? It's a protected, to be able to put that on your company as an identity mark, and Dukascopy is a prime example because the actual logo of the company is the Swiss flag. So to be able to do that, it's a protected, isn't it an actual registered brand in its own right, the flag?
I would say the term brand is very commercial. I don't think we can say that this is a brand, but there are laws around the use of a Swiss flag.
Yes, there are.
And we need to comply with it. Not everybody can use the Swiss flag. You need, as far as I know, you need to be a Swiss.
You do indeed.
Company.
That's right. Yeah.
And you cannot do everything with this flag. You need to be respectful. And the FINMA also checks, I would say, the use,
yes.
the brand name, the name also of the company should also be carefully chosen. You cannot use also the term Swiss, I would say,
that's right,
without any consequence.
That's right. What are the consequences for those who would misuse it and then conduct poor quality business, but not from here? They're just simply misusing the name to make themselves appear high standard, but actually are nothing to do with Switzerland whatsoever. Is there some kind of litigious consequence for that?
So the Swiss regulator is careful about, I would say, the abusive use of the Swissness. So if a foreign institution would position itself, would market itself as a Swiss institution without, I would say, legitimate grounds, without having a head office, I would say, in Switzerland, having a presence, or a license, depending on the activities which are conducted. So if we speak about financial activities which are regulated, so this institution should obtain an authorization from FINMA, for instance, or another regulator. Otherwise, of course, they are subject of prosecution.
Really?
And,
okay.
Yes, there is an enforcement team at FINMA, which is also acting, I would say, against this institution.
So they could potentially fine them and ask them to remove that from their website and from their materials?
So usually the way the FINMA, I would say, goes against this institution is to, of course, to investigate. So there is a team at enforcement at FINMA, and they can even, I would say, liquidate. So if we speak about a Swiss, I would say, established company, but acting without proper licensing. So like FINMA will certainly liquidate this institution, or will use international assistance, maybe with foreign regulators, because regulators, they collaborate internationally.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
So maybe FINMA will use international channels to I would say, to combat, I would say, wrong use of the Swiss.
That's absolutely brilliant, because as you quite rightly say, Laurent, the Swiss, why do retail customers go to a Swiss company? They might not understand the full extent of the technology, because the technology in these companies is very, very high. You can get an end-to-end solution from Dukascopy or from any of these companies here, which is very high and been designed with a technology-led approach. But an uninitiated novice retail trader might not necessarily know that. What they will get is a byproduct of it by starting to become a customer and getting used to that level of standard. But they are seeing the Swissness as a safe way of trading, that they will get the right market price, that their funds will be held in a custodian bank that's secure because it's a Swiss bank. Things like that are the initial attraction. So, in my opinion, and I've seen some examples of it, this should not be diluted by those outside.
Absolutely, yes. We need to fight to preserve this reputation, and it's a very good thing that we do not, I would say, allow abusive use of the Swiss flag, for instance. Yes, it's true, but we need to not to let anything happen, I would say. But also sometimes abilities to act against these players is limited, because it's very easy to build an internet website from anywhere in the world.
And take the flag.
Impossible to locate. That's and to contact a scam, I would say, with a Swiss appearance. Sometimes it's not even possible to know who is behind. You have no contact detail. So ability to act against, I would say, internet scams, for instance, is sometimes limited and difficult. But there are ways, and even Dukascopy also at its scale fights against players, at least I would say trying to abuse Dukascopy brand name, because they are fake, sometimes fake affiliates or companies pretending to collaborate with us. And at our scale, we fight against these, let's say, parasites and scammers by engaging some legal proceedings, because our name is protected. So we have some ways to attack them if they are, I would say, based on the internet. There are protection also around our, I would say, brand name, domain name, and we can, to a certain extent, fight against them and get their, I would say, disappearance on the internet.
I think that's excellent. I totally support you with that, and I really hope that is something which continues, and because there's quite a lot of discourse about it, so I really hope that continues. That's excellent. Thank you very much for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Laurent Bellieres, Chief Risk Officer at Dukascopy Bank.
Thank you, Andrew.
I'm Andrew Sachs-McLeod, Chief Executive Officer at Finance Feeds. Thank you for joining us here at Geneva, Switzerland at Dukascopy TV. See you next time. Goodbye.